When you get a bad comment, it's so easy to just say hate is gonna hate and move on. But, I'm someone who kind of obsesses over these things. And in my career, I did receive some hate comments. Some of them are just stupid, right? So you just forget about them. But a few of those actually stayed in my mind because they made me think about things. Today I want to talk about a few of them just because I think it's an interesting topic and the psychology behind what might motivate someone to leave a comment like this is interesting, I think. Here's the first bad comment that I got on any of my games was the first ever game that I made. I put online and I was a 15, 16-year-old boy. Someone on a Turkish forum wrote something like, this is the quality that you can expect from a Turkish developer. Turkish people don't know how to make games. And obviously the person writing this is Turkish, right? So this is like, if you don't know, there's a personality trait of Turkish people. We're racist against ourselves. Like we just hate ourselves. And we're just like really cynical about the things that we're doing. And I almost feel like this is kind of a cycle of cynicism. Getting that as the first comment on something that I worked years and years on was quite interesting. And so that stayed with me. And I was like, holy shit. So that's where we're starting, right? That's where we're starting this whole games adventure. I made quite a few games about like mental health stuff. They would usually get comments like, oh, this is acting like it's deep or something. Those type of comments, I got so many of them that they don't really stay with me. Like I just have this like blurry idea of me trying to say something genuine and trying to explain myself and putting those in a game. When it finds a person who is just not interested in talking about those things, it can look really stupid to them. It can look like, ah, you think you're deep, huh? Which, I don't think I'm deep. I, that's not the point. I never made a game and I'm like, this is so deep. Oh, I'm gonna show how deep it is. That's never a thing. These things happen. Like these conversations are not natural. Like having conversations about mental health or oh, another game about depression or whatever. Those type of comments. I got plenty of those. I did think a lot about them. These days, I think about the delivery of the thing is important, I think, because I think whatever you feel, whatever mental thing you're going through, there must be a way to convey that in an entertaining way rather than the way that I made those people feel, like pretentious. Oh, this is a pretentious developer or something. And what am I pretending to be? I don't know. But there's something that feels pretentious. And I think that is just the rhythm of it. The whole rhythm of the story, the delivery of the story doesn't work. The comment that comes out of that is like, oh, this is a pretentious game, right? Because there are plenty of games about mental health things that don't feel pretentious. So if I take that comment on the face value, then that's the lesson that I can learn from that, I suppose. But it's not always worth doing that because some people are just out there to hate. You cannot take everyone seriously. But I do try to take as many people seriously as possible. There was some really like unexpected comments that stayed with me as well. Like someone I considered a friend told me at some point that like, oh man, I found you so annoying after you released Pill Baby. You were tweeting about how Pill Baby is not selling and what you think the reasons are. And I just got mad seeing you do that because like how blind are you? Like of course that game wouldn't sell. And I blocked you. is what this person said. And like, holy shit, dude. So that is so many levels of negativity. Like, okay, so you hated the game. You hated the fact that I was trying to understand why it failed because it was so obvious to you that it would fail. I mean, when I say fail, like performed lower than my expectations, right? That's what I mean. I don't feel fail as in like, I don't know, it still exists, right? You can just go and play it and enjoy it. So it's not a complete failure or anything like that. But you know, so yeah, in that comment, there was so many levels of negativity to unpack. And I got really interested in it. And then that conversation kept going because I was like, wow. But I kept talking to the guy, and then the guy was at some point like, oh yeah, I was also going through this and that in my life at the time. And that then I was like, oh yeah, like you had so much negativity in your life that you couldn't also welcome my negativity because you had enough of it in your life, right? So that's the thing about negativity is that you just have your limits. You cannot just be like, oh yeah, everyone complained to me. I want to listen to everyone's complaints, right? So when you have enough complaints and negativity in your life, and when someone's like, oh, my game doesn't sell as well, you might just go like, don't complain to me, go away. And that's what that person did. I don't know why they hated the game though. I don't think it was that bad. I thought it was nice. Anyway, and then the other thing that surprised me was when we were doing the Kickstarter for Judero, and it was doing well. It reached its goal, or it was about to reach its goal, or something. Someone said to me like, I see Judeo doing well, and I don't understand what people find in games like this, and it makes me mad. Something like this. And I was like, why are you, well, to myself, I was like, why is this person telling me this? Like, because like it's okay that if he thinks this, but why is he telling me? What am I supposed to feel? Like, I'm obviously making Judera with my best intentions, and I think it looks cool, and I think it plays well. Well, I think it's a cool project. So that's why I'm making it, and it seems to be resonating with people, and I'm really happy. And then you come in and you're like, what do people find in this? That was another interesting one. That was like, oh, I thought we were supposed to support each other. And there are so many sportive people that I'm surrounded by that whenever someone is not sportive, sometimes it catches me off guard. Like, oh, it was just one of those moments where everyone was like, "Oh, congratulations on the Kickstarter," and then someone was like, "I hate the fact that Twitter is doing well." I said, well, okay, is that something to hate? Really? Is that something to get mad about? And then the more I thought about it, my only explanation for this is that they just did not think that this would make me feel bad. They didn't mean this in a fuck you kind of way. Hopefully. And they were more in like a game designer mode of like, you look at a, as if Judeo is a hit game. It's obviously not a hit game, but like you would look at a hit game and try to figure out like, okay, what makes this thing work? That's the part of the job of a game designer, is to understand why people like Balatra or whatever. I suppose he was kind of puzzled by the game, and he was just airing that out, and it wasn't supposed to be a hate thing. So that's the general thing. Like, if you said to someone like, hey, your comment made me feel bad, did you really mean to hurt me with that? They would immediately, well, not all of them, obviously some people will just hate you, and that's the real definition of haters gonna hate, and then you just move on, right? But I feel like 80-90% of these people would go like, oh no, I didn't mean to hurt you, I was meaning this thing, I was in my own head, and I was connecting these two things, and it didn't have anything to do with you. Like, if that conversation happened, you would be like, oh yeah, I shouldn't take this personally then, that's just you, which I find interesting. But yeah, those comments exist, and when you're someone like me who is making things with such, vulnerability, I suppose, it's really easy to get under my skin. But then doing this for like 10, 15 years now is getting harder and harder to do that. Which is nice, I suppose. So yeah, I hope that was interesting. I'm just really interested in the kind of psychology behind it. Negative comments are interesting content. I think if you want to leave negative comments under this for me to ponder on the meaning of them for the next decade, you could also do that, I suppose. But yeah, thanks for listening, and I will see you on the next one.